Welcome back to the Barrel Talk Podcast. This is episode 104. Joined with Connor Carson's Nick Gwynn. How we doing?
What up?
What's up?
Nice.
What's up?
I was waiting for you to.
I was waiting for you to say something.
No, I was waiting for you to say they never thought we'd make it here.
Oh, we already passed the threshold.
Yeah, what, 104?
Yeah, 104.
Well, we passed the 100. When we get to like 150, because we gonna get there, and then we hit like 200. Then we get sponsored by Ghost. Then we're in 2K next year.
Shut the
in
fuck
like
up.
Next year?
in a cutscene like this. It's all three of us. They're like MP, whatever. he's duping or whatever the fuck those stupid ones they like when Kendrick Perkins was in it.
He's doing his thing out there.
I haven't played 2K in a minute.
But we back with some basketball.
Yeah.
Pretty much almost a full week of the season in the
Awesome.
books. We've got to see pretty much everybody play at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Some overreactions.
some overreactions, some debuts, new faces and new places.
Mm-hmm.
But we can start off with probably the most impressive debut I've seen from any star that has moved teams in Damian Lillard.
Yeah, Damian Lillard is still good at basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Like it don't matter what team he's on, he's still gonna get his. We were watching that game at Zoe's, and he had the quietest 39. Like because I know we were watching the Bills game too, but it just didn't feel like in game that he had 39 points.
No.
And he just they won by one, and I don't know, they're still gonna be good. They got everybody around them playing good. Giannis is still Giannis, and I think it's bullshit that he said it's Dame's team because it's not. I think he's just doing that to
You're just
make him feel welcomed and
just to say
everything.
it.
But yeah, Giannis knows deep down it's his team, and it's always going to be his team.
I mean, looking at Philadelphia's side of things in that first game, Damian Lillard obviously hooped. I mean, Kelly Oubre was playing great
He tried.
defense.
He was trying.
And then you're looking at the other side of the ball in Philadelphia, like, no James Harden. Embiid didn't really have that great of a game. He lose by one in Milwaukee on the road in the
Should have
first
been.
game.
He should have lost by 4. But
But
bank shot at the end didn't matter.
That actually cashed out his
Yes,
over in
it
points
mattered
and
for-
three.
It mattered
and
for
threes.
D'Anthony Melton betters, but
Yeah.
in game they really lost by 4. But I don't know. I thought it was a decent game.
Yeah.
76ers are poverty, so
They're not poverty.
I'm not shocked that they lost. This just proves how bad they need James Harden to compete with these better teams.
It's funny having
Or to
Doc,
beat these better
it's
teams,
funny
I should
having
say.
Doc Rivers on the call for games like
For the
that
Sixers.
for the Sixers
Mhm.
and everything else like that. But it's to the point now where like I'm not gonna take the 76ers seriously. Tyrese Maxey's hooping, but I'm not gonna take them serious.
That's a given, though. We knew that was going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Until they get something for James Harden. I'm part of the club that thinks you just get whatever for James Harden at this point. Because if anything, you're hurting your team more with him not out there playing and him just like eating up salary cap and not having anybody else on your team to fill that role.
Did they give a reason why he didn't play?
No.
Like, was there like a fake reason? Like
Yeah,
back soreness or something?
I didn't hear what it was, but there was like
Because they had to give a reason because he wasn't on prime time.
Mhm.
they were talking about him staying back to like get in shape type shit.
Okay.
But like I mean, it's not a secret. Like the world knows like what is actually going on with the
Yeah.
James Harden situation. I
Yeah.
hate that the NBA had to step in and ask for a reason. Like you know the reason. Like it's not nothing the Philadelphia 76ers can do. Like and then I'm part of the club like. Oh, you're not gonna be in like preseason, all this other shit, and then you want to expect to just come back and play opening night for just out of nowhere. Like, no, I'm not gonna like allow you to just hop on the plane and act like you're gonna play. You haven't been part of the team with the team doing anything. You've been away, like whatever. And then like, it's James Harden. We've been here before. He's done this before.
Mhm.
So like, it's nothing new. But I'm always at the point where we're always watching a game, and if Philadelphia gets brought up, they have to trade him for something. I don't care.
They got to get something.
They have to
Yeah.
get something because it's to the point now where I'm like, even if you get James Harden back on the court, what's it going to look like? James Harden, yes, he averaged 20 and 10 last year, but like, what's it going to look like? I mean, Maxey looks like with him and the ball in his hands, he's elite. Like,
I think it's like he'll still be the same. I think it'll still be the same. Like he's one of those players who can kind of just go out there and give you 20 and 10, like in his sleep.
Mhm.
Like because he's gonna dish the ball fine. He's gonna go get free throws. Like no matter what team he's on. Like he just has to be the ball handler. But if he does come back, yeah, it does suck for Maxey because his usage will go way down.
yeah.
And he'll end up running the 2. So I mean, if I was Maxey, I wouldn't want him to come back because this is my role now.
Oh, yeah. No.
And that's the only way you're going to get Maxey better is him basically trying to average 20 points and going for most improved, basically.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, you have to trade him for whatever you can.
I think they have a good enough all around roster if they were to add a couple more role players off the bench or like maybe another solid starter. I mean, like what's gonna hurt? Like I hate teams that think they need the star. Like they need the star to pair with Joel Embiid. Like look at Denver. They don't have an all-star outside of Jokic, even though we know Jamal Murray's we know he's an all-star caliber player, but I mean, look at their roster. They built their championship team off depth and like continuity and shit like that. But then all these teams out here want to go get the big name, get the big star. Like you have Joel Embiid. If you get the right pieces around him, you will be fine. I'm not saying you're going to go out there and get somebody that is going to give you 20 and 12, 20 and 10, but like you can get multiple role players serviceable to help your roster right now, because at this point, yeah, you're going to get James Harden back, and then all of a sudden at the trade deadline, then problems start up again because he realizes he feels he can get traded again. So it's just, it's never going to end with James Harden. It's kind of, it sucks because it's hurting Philadelphia, because Philadelphia is a contending team when healthy and they have everybody, but James Harden is just away from the team because of the whole contract shit. And that's also on Daryl Morey and his fucking beef with Harden now. It's just, it's hurting the team.
Yeah, that's just a problem.
Liar. Lied to him about everything.
But Damian Lillard, he could possibly, I was sitting there watching this game, I was like, he's going to always be able to just be the dominant scoring force on the team. I'm like, what is keeping Damian Lillard away from, like, entering MVP talks or something?
First Bucks-Celtics matchup about to be a movie.
Yeah.
Like, this shit about to be crazy.
It's just, I mean, I think Damian Lillard can realistically be somewhere in the MVP talks realm.
Yeah, he could.
Throughout the year.
Because it's finally, like, he's finally not taking the brunt of everything. And, like, he can just do whatever he wants. Like, he's still dominant from three. He can still shoot fucking from anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. He can still attack the rim. He's still going to... And he's the point guard. He's still going to get assists and everything. Like, as long as everybody around him is kind of doing their role, like, the Bucks will be really good and he'll be fine.
And then he's always put up the stats to be an MVP caliber player, but it's always like Portland's like the 8th seed or the 9th seed. So this is a time where he's going to actually be like a top of the conference, top of the record in the league. And like, he's going to put up MVP caliber numbers. And it's like, from the looks of it right now, going into the season, it's like Jokic, Giannis, and Tatum. And then, like, who else is going to enter that realm? Like, Damian Lillard can definitely... Luka, Damian Lillard can both enter that realm. Like, even, like, somebody like Steph Curry, who's probably never going to win the award, is always going to get some kind of recognition for it.
There's just so many people that can fucking average, like, almost 30 nowadays. Yeah. Like, back then, you used to not... Like, you damn near have, like, 2 players on every team that can go get you 30. I'm not saying every team, but, like, that's just a crazy thing to think about.
It's just
like,
the development
back then,
of the league.
Just back then, it was just... You had, like, only a handful of people that could actually get up there, and they won't even get to 30.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be something interesting to go through every team and see, like, okay, this guy can go give me 30. Like, Boston legit has...
30? Like...
Boston legit has... You could argue 4 guys and go get you 30. Drew Holiday's on the border of that, but, like, Kristaps already did it.
I don't know if he could go get you 30, like, consistently.
Oh, not 30.
Yeah.
But
25 for sure.
But I'm just saying, like, a spark, like somebody if Drew Holiday has, like, 30 points, I'm not, like, floored that he has it.
Yeah, you got, like, Tatum, Brown, and Drew Holiday, and Kristaps.
Another debut. We can get into the Kristaps Porzingis' debut.
Awesome. It's fucking awesome.
Against the Knicks in kind of a revenge game scenario, even though that was a while back now.
I could talk about both games because we've played twice now. And I don't know, that first game had me on my... I dropped to my knees. When Quentin Grimes hit that 4-point play, I dropped to my knees in the garage. I was like, we're washed. I was like, we are frauds.
We really the same Celtics from last year.
I was like, we are frauds. And we were getting killed on the boards, and free throws just weren't going. And I feel like Tatum and Porzingis were the only ones doing anything. And it was just crazy because I didn't know Porzingis had, like, that strap. Like, this motherfucker is pulling up from, like, the parking lot. Like, that last one he hit was so deep, like, in the corner or on, like, the wing. And it was awesome. It's super cool to have a stretch 5 because we have Al, but, like, he's not 7'3" and can be a huge rim protector and all this stuff. So it's awesome to have him. I was super interested to see how the starting lineup would work. And Al seems to have no problem being on the bench, which I have no problem with him being on the bench.
Yeah, that's fine.
And... in the first game, bench was sus. Bench was really ugly. I think we had like 6 bench points or some 8 bench points. And then it kind of turned up in the next game. But, yeah, I mean, the team still looks good. Brown's kind of... He got his stride last night. He played really good last night. Played really bad in the opener. And Drew Holiday played really bad in the opener. But his defense helped us a lot. So having him helps a ton. Peyton Pritchard came in and hit these ice cold free throws to get us going. I think he had like 4 points, but I don't know. It's awesome to see. And then flip over. It's a game we should have not only won by 4. We should have won by a lot more. Then you flip to last night against Miami, a game that, I don't know, we should easily win. We should easily dominate. They came out and was torching us right away.
They're just, Miami's a team that's always like...
They just play us hard.
They're just going to play you guys. Same with the Bucks.
Yeah.
They always play you guys tough.
Just play us hard. It don't matter who Miami has on the court. They're going to play us hard.
Yeah.
And Jaylen Brown finally, got it going. I think he had 20-something. Tatum had 20-something. Drew Holiday was doing really good. That was our home opener.
And then Derek White had
26.
Yeah.
So that's awesome to see. They're saying that we have maybe the best defensive backcourt in the league.
Probably.
And I was like, yeah, probably.
The only other backcourt that hypothetically I would say could rival that is if Lonzo never got hurt with him and Caruso, but that was the only backcourt I could say defensively.
Because we have two guards that can easily make all defensive teams. Mm-hmm. We could have 4 players on our starting lineup make an all defensive team this year.
You could, yeah.
That is insane to think about. And then if you really wanted to be cool, you could put Kristaps in there.
Jesus
but he won't get it. But
Kristaps is, for him, that situation is a perfect situation you could go and thrive in.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Joe Mazzulla is the complete opposite in Ime Udoka. Ime is more of a defensive-minded. Mm-hmm. Mazzulla is more offensive-minded. And, Kristaps Porzingis, the space you guys have to create is huge.
That's awesome.
Love Robert Williams, but,
he just can't...
He's not spacing the court like Kristaps. And Kristaps can also protect the rim just a little bit. I'm not even going to say better, but just, in a way Robert Williams can because he's so tall.
I would rather take the little less defensive, rim stopping and then gain the three-pointer, consistently.
Yeah.
Because he's taking, 6 or 7 threes a game. Mm-hmm. And if J. Rue can get his 3 going, Jaylen Brown's just been so sus from 3. I don't know what his problem is, but I think we need to clean up the turnovers. There was a lot of ugly ball being played.
That also comes with not having a true point.
Well, Drew Holiday's a true point, but it's just when he's not even the one taking the ball up. That's the problem. It's whoever gets the rebound. If you grab the rebound, you're taking the ball up. Mm-hmm. Even Porzingis, he'll grab the rebound and just, all right, we're going up court, whatever. And then it's usually Tatum or Derek White or something. But yeah, we need to clean up the rebounding as well. And then our free throws looked really fucking bad.
Yeah,
that's basically.
I think that was just in the first game.
Thankfully, the Knicks were worse at the free throw line than us, and that's how we won. But I don't know. I just go into every game expecting to win. That's just how it is.
You should.
There's no game unless when we play Milwaukee, that'll be a game I'll be like, okay, we might drop one here. Mm-hmm. Be like, all right, whatever. But yeah, I think it's awesome to see we're 2-0. I know we play tomorrow. I don't know who we play, but we should win. And we don't have people on our team that take breaks.
So, we do.
We do.
I do.
We got nobody on our team that wants to load manage it.
Yeah. But just going over the star debuts, Chris Paul with the Warriors, it's looking a lot better than I...
Stinky debut.
Bad debut. Nobody really played great. Yeah. I mean, Chris Paul had a fine game stat-wise. Curry's still going to do what he does. I mean, we were a lot better last night than the opener. Mm-hmm. And last night was the bigger takeaway in terms of the full product that I've seen. Our turnovers when Chris Paul's on the court are just completely different when it's Jordan Poole.
Oh, yeah.
The only things I really took away from last night's game is Steph Curry. The Kings can't do shit with Steph Curry at this point. He shot 70% from 3 and 75 from the field with 41 points. Iced the game, even though De'Aaron Fox was mounting a huge comeback. But it's more so I understand certain aspects of why Steve Kerr has kind of a leash on Kuminga. Because, just watching the game starts, Kuminga gets into the game in, late first, early second quarter, immediately it's a turnover. Dribbles into the traffic, immediately a turnover. And then it's I know Jonathan Kuminga can be a very good player in this league, but I understand, I didn't understand it last year because he just wasn't playing him. But little spurts when he is playing, I understand why Steve Kerr does have a leash on him, just because some of the decision-making, he's still super young, just kind of hurts. And I think he doesn't play too into the offense enough. And there was a play where we're swinging the ball around and Kuminga gets to the top of the key in the slot. And then Gary Payton II wide open in the wing, like ready for a catch and shoot opportunity. And most with our offense, that's a one more easy wide open three, make or miss. We take those, and then he like dribbles up one dribble pull mid range contested, and then I think it was Doc Rivers on the call. He was like, "Yeah, he probably had one more there." He was like, "Yeah, might have. He had one more there.
He had one."
It's just some of the decision making is going to really determine Kuminga's minutes this year, and I can definitely that was one of my bigger takeaways last night. And then it's like another takeaway is like. One of these days, like Klay Thompson is gonna get the rhythm offensively. It's just
he is playing himself off the Warriors right now.
I hope so.
I'm not too concerned about it. He's gonna figure out. He's gonna get going offensively. It's also just like without Jordan Poole's scoring, like Jordan Poole was 20 easy every given night. It's just like who is gonna be that secondary scoring option consistently next to Curry? Is it because it's really either Klay Thompson or Wiggins that needs to be that.
And
that
Wiggins really isn't even playing.
Wiggins looked bad in that opener too.
Yeah, Wiggins looked bad. We also had hella problems with foul trouble in that opener because Wiggins had like 4 fouls in the middle of the third quarter.
That's something with us as well. We had really big foul trouble yesterday.
It's just bad foul trouble, and then Wiggins is gonna still give me elite level defense, and like I'm not too worried about Wiggins. It's more so the consistency of Klay Thompson. It's just the shot selection. Just forcing way too many looks when like he could easily get a better look. Like you have Chris Paul on the court, you have Steph Curry on the court. Like these one dribble fadeaways in the corner, like it's just some of the shots. It's just some of the shot selection from Klay Thompson. And I think is another reason why he's out of rhythm. Is because pressure's on. It's a contract year for him. He's not extended. I think that's more so messing with him that this is a team he's been with his whole career and they didn't extend him before the season. Mm-hmm. Now he's in this limbo that he really hasn't been in all of his career with the same team. And I feel like the pressure is just starting to get to him a little bit, and he's trying to try to force his way to feel proven and still feel like he's a valuable player to the team. I have no doubt that he's going to get it going at some point in the season. Like, we play Houston tomorrow. Klay Thompson, damn near averages like 30 against Houston.
I'm going to have one of my Ben Simmons level takes.
Oh.
Klay Thompson will not get it together.
I think he'll be fine.
What is not getting together, though, for Klay Thompson?
I don't...
Just not...
I don't think he's going to ever get to that point where he's a valuable player to your team anymore.
You think he's just going to be like a role player?
Like a super valuable player.
I was going to say, he's just a role.
Yeah, he's a role player or not on your team.
I think that's perfectly fine for Klay. Like, Klay Thompson's one of the best shooters in the league. It's just his shot selection. He's leaving my
list. I think he's going to leave the list of if you shoot a three.
So instead of like 18 points a game, like more like 12.
Ooh,
12, 13.
I think with his volume of shots that he takes, he'll always be around like 15 to 18. Because he shoots a lot a game.
He just misses a lot.
I just think
it's only 2 games. Overreaction.
It's more so, like I said,
he'll probably
the
okay.
pressure.
I think it's a safe space.
Yeah,
I think say whatever we need.
I think he'll end up turning it around at some point. He'll be fine, especially when we get Draymond back, another playmaker on the court. Because and I'm interested to see the fit with him and Chris Paul. Because I've liked Chris Paul. Like he's a steady. People say what they want. He's just a steady guy. Like I know what I'm getting from Chris Paul every single night. He's not going to turn the ball over. Mm-hmm. He's going to help everybody else get open shots, and like the offense just feels a lot more steady. Because with Jordan Poole, love Jordan Poole, miss Jordan Poole, but you never know what you were going to get with Jordan Poole.
It really feels like you guys took the trade off. We'll have this more steady, calm offense and take a little bit less scoring.
And when our problems, when Curry was out of the lineup, Jordan Poole was giving us 25 plus a game, but Jordan Poole was also inefficient, 6 turnovers. Like we just needed another steady, like ball handler that can really control the pace of the game. And I understand, I love and hate the trade because Jordan Poole, the age difference is just huge.
Yeah,
but I like the fit that I'm seeing with Chris Paul already with the team because that's something we haven't really had, another strong dominant guard. And then you see how it benefits Curry because when they're on the court at the same time, Curry can really just get off and not have to worry about getting everybody else involved.
We knew Curry was going to do good because he could just be off the ball now. Mm-hmm. And like he's not the primary ball handler and everything. So Chris Paul had like 10 assists last night or something. Yeah. Like that's what Chris Paul does.
Chris Paul's going to give you
he's going to give you
12 to
14 and 11.
Mm-hmm. And then like he'll give me like a random like 4 rebounds. Yes. Like I know what I'm getting from Chris Paul. That's why I like the fit. And then like on Sacramento's side, I mean, you just couldn't stop Steph Curry. It's
just so hard to stop Steph Curry. Like the Warriors' third quarter is crazy.
Taxes and the Warriors' third quarter.
Like it's just gonna. It don't matter how much you're up at halftime. Like you better be ready for that third quarter because the Warriors are gonna come out spraying. And it's crazy. He had what 38 last night. Fox.
Yeah, Fox had 39,
36 or something.
39. Curry had 41.
Goddamn, like he's trying. And then
I'm not worried. I am liking what I'm seeing from Keegan Murray.
Yeah,
he looks good.
Way more aggressive this
Mm-hmm.
year than he was last year, and that just makes sense.
Well, they got nothing from Kevin Huter.
No.
And then I'm guessing they probably got nothing from their bench if like they were getting blown out at that point.
They were getting blown out. Then
they made a little comeback.
Made a little.
We were watching it at Max.
Yeah. So the only overreaction I have from just Warriors looking at my team's perspective is you gotta have Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins really get going offensively. And that's the only overreaction. But I think shit's gonna be really cleaned up when we get Draymond back, because Draymond's just another fucking
Draymond will help a lot.
defender at that fucking forward spot. He does everything for us in our system. So once we get him back, I don't even know when he's supposed to come back. He'll probably come back within the next couple of weeks or so. Probably like next week he'll be able to play, because he had the ankle sprain in like early this month.
He was like on the call for the first game, and he was talking like he was fine.
Yeah. So he'll be back. It'll be fun. But out of the major debuts, WEMBY, the loudest I've seen San Antonio in fucking a decade.
We got a primetime game.
Yeah.
From San Antonio and Mavs.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me that was after the Celtics game?
Yeah.
And that it was electric.
It was a game,
San Antonio was up. Like realistically, they weren't going to win that game.
No.
Like they made it interesting though.
Yeah.
Like they came down to the wire, but they just were not. The Mavs are the better team, and like the Spurs still got a lot to kind of figure out. Like I don't know if I can accept Devin Vassell being my second main scorer on that team. I don't think I can. So, actually, you're probably your first at some points.
Yeah.
And then, the Jeremy Socon thing, playing point guard.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't know how. I think I like it. I just don't know how I feel about it, because he's. How tall is he?
Like 6'9".
I say he's like 6'9". He can get rebounds. He gets fucking free throws. What is his problem? Why does he shoot with one hand? Like, I get it, you suck at free throws. Just practice.
Just try.
Like, you have an open facility 24/7. Just go shoot 1,000 free throws. Like, I don't know. It's so crazy. But, yeah, Victor is God. This man, if he wouldn't have got in that early foul trouble in that Mavs game, like, he probably could have gone for a good 25, 22. Like, when he came down and smacked that three, I was like, damn. I was like, this league better change. Mm-hmm. I was like, we're all really watching like a weird change in the NBA of these big guys, these like overseas guys coming in and just tearing it up.
Yeah.
Like just because they've played like so much, they've played that style. Like, and then they say it's even harder over there. So when Trey Sampson gets in the league, like damn, like he gonna take over. Like he gonna take over. But yeah, Spurs. I mean, they're still gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Mavs. They looked pretty good. Mm-hmm. They got a lot of production from their young guys, like their new guys, like Derek Lively, who played very good off the bench.
He swooped in their first two games. Grant
Williams
looks
is helping them a lot. Like Kyrie's still doing his thing.
You're
like
still gonna know what you're gonna get from Tim Hardaway Jr. off your bench.
Luka is Jesus. Luka is Luka.
Yeah.
Him last night, 49 and like 10.
Zero turnovers.
Zero turnovers, which is probably the first time he's ever done that in his career.
And then like. It also, that's why I was kind of, the Mavs had the highest range for me, because we didn't know how the supporting pieces were going to do around them, but they look like great fits.
They look fine right now.
I still think they could also add another piece.
Yes.
I think Josh Green's really coming into himself offensively. And then just looking at Derek Lively, I mean, he's the perfect fit next to Luka and Kyrie. And then, like...
He can just do it all. Like, I mean, he doesn't even have to shoot the three.
Yeah.
Like, he can be in... He's getting rebounds, like, easily. Like, he's a lob threat, which is awesome, because they don't really have, like, a lob threat. Mm-hmm. So, Luka can kind of throw it up to him, or Kyrie can. Like, he's a good person to have in when Kyrie's in with that second unit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I said something in the group chat, I was like, you think the Mavs are crazy enough to have a unit without Kyrie and Luka on the floor?
No.
I was like, that's sick.
No.
That's sick.
No.
That lineup will be crazy.
We don't even have that lineup, because when we start the game, Chris Paul comes out at like the 8-minute mark, and then like we'll end the quarter, or like Curry plays the whole first and then plays a little bit in the second. But so
like the Mavs can't afford to have one of them not in the game.
And like, why would you even like
do that?
Yeah, well, like you can split the minutes enough.
The only thing I can think of is like if they get in foul trouble.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know. Mavs, they surprised me.
Mavs are looking really good.
They look good. I mean, they have also played the Nets and the Spurs.
Yeah.
But Nets are on a pushover. Mm-hmm. But Luka iced that fucking game.
Yeah.
Both of them. He iced both games, actually.
One thing I'll say about the Nets, Ben Simmons looks solid.
He looks
solid.
like
He looks solid.
He looks fine.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
he looks.
just-
If you give me that to start the season, and like you can consistently get better at it, like we're fine.
Because they didn't have Cam
He
Johnson
started?
last night. Yeah.
Wow.
They didn't have Cam Johnson last night, and like Ben Simmons, like he creates so many open shots for them, and like he's gonna be, if he can consistently give you like 8, 9, and like 12, and some of those,
He's gonna get you a lot of assists.
Yes, he's gonna be very valuable, and his defense has taken a step up. He just looks a lot more comfortable and better this year. But another team, like we just talked about, not having this guy off the court or having these two guys on the court, is the Phoenix Suns,
Jesus.
who have had Devin Booker. Looked very good on Tuesday against the Warriors, even though that was just a sloppy game, both sides. And then he's out. Bradley Beal's out, who played every single preseason game. Now Bradley Beal's dealing with a back problem. Devin Booker has like a toe problem. Kevin Durant did everything he could to try to beat the Lakers.
Yeah, he did.
And
my
then
God.
I know you guys supposed to have Devin Booker and Bradley Beal on this team, obviously, but like the bench is looking very hit or miss at the moment.
Bench is looking sussy sus.
It looks sus, but like, bro, we're like, I don't even know. I saw the unit we had. Like you were talking about, you can't have a unit without Kyrie.
Yeah.
I saw a unit with no KD on the floor.
Oh God.
It was like Jordan, Goodwin.
Eric Gordon's your best player.
Yes,
or Nurkic or something.
No, not even Nurkic. They had Nurkic on the bench.
Oh my God.
It
So
was
you're talking
it was
like
Drew Eubanks,
Yeah, so you're
Yuta Watanabe,
Gordon,
Eric Gordon,
and like Goodwin.
Okogie wasn't on
Oh,
there. Goodwin
Jesus.
and maybe Grayson Allen. It just
See, that's the good thing
awful.
about like my team just having 4 all-stars.
yeah.
Damn near 5 all-stars as my starters. Like someone is gonna be in the game,
Right.
No matter what. Like that I can lean on.
Out of your role players, I do like Josh Okogie. Josh
Okogie's
He's
looking
playing really
great.
good. He
He's
looks
looking
awesome.
great.
He was with you guys. Has he been with you guys the past 2 years now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been
He wasn't in crunch time. Jordan Goodwin was in
Crazy.
instead. Don't know why.
I don't
He's
even know
ass.
who Jordan Goodwin is.
He's
I'm not
fucking
gonna
terrible.
lie. I saw Goodwin and I was like, I actually don't know who that is.
He's not good.
So
He
I
had
don't-
like 15 points against the Lakers, but like
he
he shot a lot of shots for no reason.
Nurkic just looked better than I anticipated.
Nurkic
He
He
had just in
looked-
foul trouble
Yeah.
against the Lakers.
That first game
one, he
against
looked
you
great.
guys,
He was
he
killing
looked
it.
really good. He was just really doing good on the boards, and he looked like Jokic out there. He was shooting threes, bro. Like what
He's
the
doing
fuck?
everything.
It sucks because you either have like a team like this that has 3 stars and the bench looks really thin. But if you have those 3 stars, then you're gonna have 2 all-stars on the court plus at all times. But all it takes is for
Foul trouble.
like
A Devin Booker injury.
like an injury to one of your 3, and then you're like looking like last year with like you have 2 star player, like top 10 player plus, and then you're like, our bench is thin because this person gets hurt. Knock on wood, injuries never happen, but like this is the reality of the situation. Like if the Suns are fully healthy, they're obviously a good title contender, but if they're missing one of the 3, then you're like, are they better than like the Mavs now? Because the Mavs are looking like a better, well-rounded team. Are they better than a Sacramento or definitely not even a Denver? Because Denver's just looking like they're above the
Denver's
league right
leagues
now.
above everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to have all 3 healthy to really be title contenders.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's why they are doing this.
Yeah.
Is to have them all healthy. I'm not putting too much stock into these games, but like turnovers look awful. We're probably top. We got to be like top 3. In the
That's
league
what
in
happens
turnovers.
when you don't really have.
We don't really have a
one.
point guard. Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys really don't have a true. Y'all got Eric Gordon running the one.
Hell yeah.
I don't even know who our backup one technically is. If it's
Yeah.
that Goodwin
It's probably
guy.
Goodwin.
See, that's why I didn't understand, like, just getting
Bringing back Campaign.
Yeah, like why did?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, and then it's like you bring in all these like project role player kind of guys, and like you couldn't get a backup point guard, just somebody steady
They
with the
signed
ball.
Bobo.
Like you got
signed
Bobo,
Bobo.
you got Bobo for like no reason. You're not playing him. I knew you guys weren't
Bobo
gonna
on his
play him.
phone. That's all
He probably was on his phone
That's
on
all
the
on his
bench.
phone.
Then so when you guys got rid of Cameron Payne, I was like, all right, they're all in on a Bradley Beal, Devin Booker being
I was
the
okay
point
with getting rid
guard.
of campaign. I just wanted somebody to take his place.
Yes, like you guys didn't get nobody at that actual point guard spot. I like Eric Gordon, but Eric Gordon's so out of
He's
his,
not a point guard.
He's so out of his role
he's
right
taking
now.
like 15 shots.
He is.
manning
Him and
the
Tim
offense.
Hardaway are
He's
fighting
manning
for
the offense.
like they don't want to win. These motherfuckers go in there and just don't want to win.
But like the one thing, well, against the Lakers, when you don't have Booker and Beal, somebody's got to shoot those shots. But like, it's just he's so far out of his role because they have him playing more of a point guard role right now, and you guys don't have any backup sort of like that you're looking to at all. So you're really relying on Bradley Beal and D Book to really be the point guard.
Yeah.
But
in both games, we've had like a 10-minute span where we've scored less than 5 points.
Yeah, you guys should have.
So-
You guys should have handily won the game against the Lakers. You guys let them back
100%.
in. You guys,
It's just-
even without Book and Beal, like the Lakers even look super shaky still. Like I just hopping into the opposite side of that game, like looking at the Lakers, like the Bron minutes restriction just is like it needs to happen, but like you're gonna be in so many games where like
It's
I'm sorry,
where you
need to
can't.
be
Yes.
He said that he couldn't do it. He played 35 minutes against us.
and then it's like you're having a minutes restriction, but there's gonna be a lot of games where if you don't have Bron on the court in the second quarter, like
You're
it
not
could
gonna
the
win.
game could be over in the
Yeah.
third
Yeah.
quarter. Like this sucks because they have to have him on that minutes restriction. I understand it. I'm not against it.
Guys, how old is LeBron now?
38.
38. He's about to be
Oldest,
39.
he's the oldest player in the league now because Iggy retired.
Yeah.
It's just because like it's just you're getting too much inconsistent play from Anthony Davis. Like it just is. It's I'm not. You're getting the same Anthony
So
Davis you're
crazy,
always
like,
gonna
he
get.
drops like we could just get into the Lakers at this
Yeah.
point. Like he goes into that first game, 17 first half points. AD's back, baby. Let's go
score.
against Denver. Doesn't score, and the game is still close. Like it's not like they're getting blown out or anything. Like very odd. I don't understand it. Then he comes out against you guys and drops 30, which is also crazy because I know I know AD can do that. I know he can do it every game.
It's just not consistent.
It's just not consistent. Like, and then they're gonna go play like the fucking. The Spurs always just come to mind. The Spurs, and then AD's gonna drop fucking 15 points.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like the Bron minutes restriction because you have too many inconsistent players that you're relying on. You're relying on D'Lo, who's always been an inconsistent player.
D'Lo,
You're relying on Austin Reeves to really be your third option on this championship team.
I think they moved D'Lo at the deadline.
I think you have to.
should.
I think you have to. To
I
the
think-
Suns. Fuck.
No,
You guys need a point
no.
guard? Go get him.
I wouldn't even like that
No.
fit. Defensively,
He-
y'all would
he-
be. Y'all. He's
You
a,
think he would want to come off the bench though?
no.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah.
I think
No,
that's a big
no,
reason why he's
no
starting
deal.
now.
Go to the Raptors. That's a. Ooh.
They already
Did
got
I-
Dennis
did I
Schroeder.
cook?
Dennis
And-
Schroeder.
Dennis
Dennis Schroeder
Schroeder's going
hooping.
crazy.
All right,
Crazy
all
hooping.
right.
He's hit his P&A 2 straight games.
He didn't hit it last night. Trust me, I was on it. He didn't hit it last night. I was on it.
Nah, but I mean, it's just looking at they're relying on too many inconsistent players. I felt like this was coming in to the season. Like, it's always, this is AD's team now, and it never fucking is. It's always going to be Bron's team. As long as Bron is on the Lakers, it's always his team. I don't like to hear that it's AD's team because he's too inconsistent to really prove that. And then Austin Reeves is somebody who's still super up and down. Yes, he had a good year last year.
He is also being like super. I don't know. It looks like he's just so hesitant to shoot threes and stuff. Like he's still gonna give you the like flail and he'll get your free throws and whatever. But yeah, they need him to jump to like 20 something.
I think that's what they were anticipating. Yeah, I think
It's only been 2 games.
it is.
It's only been 2
It
games.
is. I think
But-
Chandler Parsons said something about it when he was like on a talk show or something. They were talking about the Lakers, and he was like, "It's not crazy to think that this is the best you're gonna see out of Austin Reeves. Like this isn't Austin. I also wouldn't put Austin Reeves in the category of like he's gonna take a jump to like 20, 22, 24 points a game. I just don't think that's who he
I
is.
think he can get to like 19 and 20 though, like on a consistent basis, especially if LeBron's taking the minute restriction. Like, I just think he can. I think he just needs to start taking over. Like, they need to have him in with that.
They don't
second
even
group.
like be getting him the ball that much.
That's
though.
what I mean. That's why he needs to get in there with the second group. When he's in there with like Gabe Vincent and like Cam Reddish and everything, like put Reeves in there, and then throw in like, I don't know, maybe have Bron in there, whatever. Then just
Like
have
Rui?
them. Rui, yeah, I was just say perfect. Like have all them go in there, and then let him try to go crazy. Like I don't know.
It's tough because you see like them being down in that game pretty much all game until what happened. LeBron said, "I'm the fucking point guard. Get out of my way."
Get out
It
of
was
my way.
all straight pick
It's
and
that
rolls.
video. What did he say? He told
To
D'Lo.
Darvin.
So you know I can run point, right?
Yeah, he's like,
you know I can run the point, right?
But
But
not
that-
the video of D'Lo. He's like, hey, I'm gonna be open on the pick and fade. Like, I'm always gonna be there. He's like, all right, word. And then they do the pick and fade, and D'Lo just shot a 3, and he fucking missed.
It's like because that's how they got back in the game, and like LeBron going downhill, like you can't stop. You can't
it.
do
No,
it.
that
He's
was-
either going. He might be 38 years old. He'll boom on you.
I saw
Yes.
him rip up the engine. I was like, fuck.
When he teased up at the third, like or at the 3-point line,
Yeah.
like the one power dribble,
Yeah.
like, boom, that's going. It's going in.
It's just it sucks because that's the Lakers at their best is when LeBron's getting downhill, creating for others. When you have LeBron at the point guard, I'm not a fan of D'Lo with the lineup. I just think he's too inconsistent, too up and down. And he's not giving you enough defensively. I just didn't like.
He becomes like the focal point of the offense.
Yes.
I hate it.
D'Lo?
Yes.
Yeah. He becomes like the guy, and I hate it.
Because
I
if
hate
you're
watching it.
not getting a valuable game out of Anthony Davis consistently throughout the entire game, and you have LeBron on a minutes restriction, I'm like, you start to worry. Like, I know it's still like early in the season, but if you're gonna have the minutes restriction on Bron and you have inconsistent play from everybody else, like, what are we? This Lakers team is either gonna look really good or really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And in their first 2 games, honestly, they've looked really bad. A team that really only had Kevin Durant hooping. Kevin Durant hooped. You still have the entire Lakers roster healthy. You should take care of the Suns that night. I'm sorry, you should. Without booking Bradley Beal, the Lakers should have easily took care of that game, but they didn't. They still won that game because of heroics from Bron. And even against Denver, even they still, with the whole new roster, Denver still looked a level or 2 above the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
And that just comes down to, like, you can't have the men's restriction and you can't have AD be inconsistent. You got to pick and choose. It's either you take away the men's restriction or Anthony Davis plays consistently. You can't have both of them. So that's just the little spurt I've had.
It's going to be a
Lakers.
long-term problem,
yes.
I think, if they don't figure it out.
And it's like, then it's to the point where, like, because I feel like continuity has a lot to do with championship level teams. Like, Denver's had that lineup forever now at this point, even though throughout the injuries, like, at the deadline now, it's going to be like, what piece are you really getting to, like, really, at the trade deadline, compete with a Denver, like, a Golden State if they keep it going, a Memphis when they get back going, a Phoenix? Like, what pieces are you getting to, like, really, all right, now we can really hone in on Bron getting ready for the playoffs. Like, what are we? There's nothing star you're gonna go get at the deadline.
No.
Like, there's just isn't. You just extended D'Lo and Austin Reeves.
I think you just gotta get rid of D'Lo. Like, it's just you don't even at this point you don't even need like a player. Like, I think you just get rid of him. Like, you don't need him. You just get him out. You have Vincent and Reeves who can run the point. Like, even and then Bron wants to run the point. Like, D'Lo has shown nothing from last year to this year that he even wants to play basketball.
Too many people that
like,
need
he looks really bad.
Too many people that need the ball in their hands.
That's what I mean. Like, why? It was cool when they first got him back. You know, the reunion and everything. He was doing decent, and then Russ was still there and everything. But like, just like Russ, you just move on. Like, if they're not playing good, just move on.
I just think they're also, like, small. Like, you have AD, but like, your bench big.
Christian Wood.
Like, I like Christian Wood. Listen, Christian Wood, I like him off the bench.
Yeah, so do I.
I like him and AD on the court together.
Their bench is not.
It's not
It's
bad.
not awful,
It's
no.
not.
It just
no.
depends on if they're gonna do stuff.
Yeah.
Like, on paper, really good bench. You got Wood, Reddish, Vincent, and then what?
Rui. And then you have Torian Prince, who starts.
Torian Prince starts for some reason. I get it because
he was hooping the first game they played.
he put up a stinker
Yeah.
last night or
Didn't do
whenever they
anything.
played.
He didn't do
actually
anything.
did nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
I
think
had him for 1+3.
Yeah, he did nothing. So I think I see why he starts because they want Rui off the bench.
Yeah.
And like, I would want Rui off the bench than Torian Prince as well.
also, he does bring better space, and like we said,
And he's a better defender than Rui. So I understand.
I think they need to go get another big because I think
Who's their backup 5?
Wood.
Jackson Hayes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they have him too.
Jackson
Like,
Hayes.
Wood.
That's
Yeah.
not.
It's
what?
not-
Put the pieces together, Lakers. Like,
It's not-
what is going on?
it's
You have
not-
good players.
I just don't think Jackson Hayes. I think Jackson Hayes is a project still, but I think they need somebody where, like, because remember when AD was at his best, they had Dwight Howard, JaVale
Yeah.
McGee. So you put AD at the 4 where he can just work. That's where you want AD to just go be aggressive. Don't worry about defensively. Just go. We need you to be aggressive. But like, I understand like the parts where like you want him to be an aggressive part of the offense, but you also need him to do everything you need defensively. And like, and even against that game 1 and against Denver, you're looking at him. He has to guard Jokic the whole fucking game, and you still want 30 out of him. Guarding Jokic is already hard enough for him because Jokic is
who are we talking about?
AD guarding
Yeah,
Jokic.
yeah.
He's already so hard enough. It's so hard it drains him, and then God forbid he gets in foul trouble guarding somebody because then you want him to give you 30, but you also want him to give you elite depoy level defense, which Anthony Davis is always going to give you. But it's to the point you got to pick. It's like you got to pick and choose, and they don't really have another big option that's going to come in there and give you defensive production like that. Like Christian Wood could go in there and give you 15, easy.
He gonna shoot 3.
They don't have another backline defender like that, and I think that also hurts AD because AD has to be the focal point defensively. Because I don't really like this team defensively like that.
No.
Because you gotta look like who like they have their guards aren't stopping anybody. I'm sorry, like D'Lo can say he wants to be Derek White all he wants. It's just like
I actually thought he was kidding when
No.
he said that. I thought the fake like NBA Central page posted that on Twitter And I put it in the group chat, and I actually thought he was joking, that's just a crazy statement to say you want to be like Derek White.
I want to be like Derek White.
I want to be like Derek White. That is what D'Angelo
I
Russell is
understand
saying.
what he's saying.
So it's just from the defensive
just
end.
more of an all-around kind of player.
He's bald as fuck. He's so bald. I love it.
I don't know. The Lakers, obviously, like, kind of just talking about overreactions a little bit, but their overreactions that I have for them are kind of like glaring roster issues that are looking like they're going to be a problem.
You know who's being a problem? The Hawks. What are they doing? What are we doing? From this overreactions, like 2 games in, but DeJounte and Trey look like shit.
Yeah,
they got like, now I'm not gonna say embarrassed, but they lost to a team in the Hornets that should not even be on their level, and it was because Trae Young and DeJounte Murray were single-handedly losing them that game. Trae Young was shooting awful. DeJounte Murray was doing nothing, and Cardio Capella was out there doing his thing, getting rebounds and shit. So it's just very scary to see that's how the Hawks could look with them just not gelling.
It's just slow start to the season for your 2 main guys.
I hope so, because I'm a big Trae Young guy.
Yeah, I am too. I think he's honestly, numbers-wise, he's an MVP caliber player. He's
awesome.
It's just, I think there's slow start to the season, and I think they're going to ramp it up at some point, but slow start. I think him and DeJounte are still trying to figure it out, kind of like how Garland and Mitchell started trying to figure it out. I don't even think I can
give them that excuse
because they had all last year.
They had all last year.
They did.
It's just there's no more. You're in your second season with the gang. Like, who gonna run the point? Who's gonna be the shooter? Who's gonna go do this and that? Like, I didn't even see what was their actual starting lineup.
It was Trae Young, DeJounte, Sadiq Bey, Capella, and
like even. Bruh, now I'm getting pissed off. Now I'm looking at last night. I thought they won last night.
No.
They didn't. They lost to the Knicks. So, I mean, you're getting just god-awful shooting from Trae Young. 4 for 16 last night. 2 for 5 from 3. Like, take away these free throws, he has a stinker of a game. Or he has 10 points. DeJounte, also 18 points. 8 for 17, like, from the field. I don't know. I like them starting Sadiq Bey. I think he should start. It makes them losing John Collins. He should go into that role.
And he's what you want. He's a better shooter.
He gave you nothing yesterday. He gave you cardio. He had 25 minutes, 5 points. He only took 4 shots. And I don't know. It's starting to scare me. They're 0-2 now. And I just want to see. I know Trae Young is awful at defense. He's not a defensive guy. But DeJounte Murray is. So I don't know why they should be, like, Jalen Brunson giving them 31 last night, and R.J. Barrett giving them over 25 is a crime. Like, how
R.J. Barrett's hooped to start the season.
Yeah, he had 2 good games.
It's so crazy. Like, Maple Mamba. I've been an R.J. Barrett guy.
Me too,
I really
but
have.
I didn't think it was going to work out.
Yeah, I would say overreaction.
Overreaction, the Hawks need to figure it the fuck out.
Two teams that I'm worried about. Sleeper team is the Hawks. Because I was kind of looking over.
Getting any minutes?
Who?
Onyeka Okongwu?
Yeah.
Getting any minutes?
Yeah, he is. He played 20 last night.
Okay. Only teams that I'm worried about a little bit is Hawks a little bit, but their stuff is more so they just need their stars to play better.
I'm worried about the Hawks.
Another team I'm really worried about is Memphis. Without these 25 games, might be brutal. It's
crazy. I didn't think it was gonna be this bad.
Desmond Bane's playing really good, and it's not like they're playing bad. It's just they don't have shot creation.
You're just losing Ja.
You're losing Ja, Steven Adams, Brandon Clark, Luke Kennard's not playing.
Santi Aldama's not playing.
Yeah,
you have and get it. You're gonna be like Santi Aldama, but he'll come off the bench. Like, he's a player. Like,
yes.
They need to use him. Or they use him. Like, it's not like they don't. So, and looking at these games, like, I get it. You played the Pelicans, who we're high on the Pelicans, we always have been, and then they only lost by 7, and then you only lose by 4 to the Nuggets last night.
It's just those close games without
They're
Ja.
in games, it's just they're not finishing. And I don't know why the Nuggets let them sit around for so long. But they had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in double digits last night for the Grizzlies.
Damn.
And then they play Washington tonight.
They
should
have to win.
Yeah, this should be a win on the road.
Probably
Second
win.
night of a back-to-back, though.
Like, D. Rose getting consistent minutes in 2023 is a crazy statement. I get it. He has to because Ja's not there.
If this roster's fully healthy, they're a top 3 team roster wise. Like you have Ja, Smart, Bane, Triple J, Steven Adams. Now you don't have Steven Adams for the whole year.
Yeah, he's out for the year.
And they were really good last year without Ja with Steven Adams, and then you take Steven Adams out of the equation, who's one of the better rebounders in the league.
One of the best, yeah.
And like people don't understand like the importance of like somebody like Steven Adams and like just his screen setting ability to help Ja get downhill. Like it's crazy. Like people don't. Steven Adams isn't a flashy name, but the impact he has,
the small shit that he does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he allows Jaren Jackson to really be a help side defender because Steven Adams takes the big man assignments.
It's so tough because like this is like a perfect example. If like they had Ja, like they probably win that game against the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Because Desmond Bane played very bad. He did not. He had 15 points, but he shot 4 for 17.
But that's also Desmond Bane being the focal offensive point.
That's what I mean. He's the if you have another guy like because Ja can give you 30. He's gonna give you 30, 35.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get it. You got 20 from Marcus Smart, which is fucking insane.
Marcus Smart had a very good game.
Yeah, he had 3 threes, 7 for 13, and then Jaren Jackson gave you 21. But you need Ja. You need Ja. So yeah, these 25 games might
if they can
rough.
if they can hover like with how close everything
hover around 500.
Yes, if they
you'll
can
be fine.
Because with how close it ends up being, like when we get to like February, March, and it's like 1-2 game difference is the difference between the 1 and 7 seed and shit like that. Like it's gonna be very interesting if they can hover around 500. I'm worried now because I don't know if they'll be able to maintain that with how I've seen them look these first 2 games, and like you're obviously not playing with John Morant, who's all NBA level point guard, and then you're missing Steven Adams and all your role players and everything like that. So I expect them to kind of look the way they do, but you don't want to get into a spot where you get Ja back and you're like 6-7 games below 500.
Yeah, you're in a hole.
And with how deep the West is, that's not saying even with Ja you're just automatically winning a lot of these games. Yeah. Like there's still going to be super tough games.
I think
that they have to play.
At that point, if you're just playing like if you're digging yourself a hole, like at that point you just play like, all right, we have to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
like we have to like make the play-in.
Yeah.
And at least give us a chance.
They're a team to where like if they were to like be a play-in team, because I'm pretty sure I had them making the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But if they're
everybody probably did.
If they're a team that can get into the play-in, I like their chances against anybody.
Oh yeah, especially in the play-in.
And if they can get, they're not gonna have Steven Adams the whole year, but if you get Ja. And, like, say you go get maybe a better big than Xavier Tillman. I like Xavier Tillman. He's more of a bench.
He's playing good.
Yeah. He's more of a bench guy because he's undersized at the 5. And when you have Jaren Jackson, who is known to get in foul trouble, I think having an undersized 5 kind of hurts you. But if they can go in and just, like, make a plan, I like their chances. And if they get healthy and you're a top seed, you do not want to play Memphis in the first round.
No.
Because them defensively, they're going to be stout once they get everything right and get everything back. Like, they're going to be good. It's just, where will they end up being when Ja does eventually come back? And I know Ja's going to definitely have some rust because of the missing 25 games and shit like that, but I think they'll be fine. I'm a little worried about this start without Ja. Yeah. Because a lot of people were like, "Oh, they were fine." The narrative,
so they'll be all right.
Yeah, they're fine without. They were great without Ja. Look at who they had. You had Tyus Jones.
They had a bad stretch of games too. Like they just played bad teams.
Yeah, Tyus Jones, who was the best backup point guard in the league, and then you put him in the starting role. He does absolutely fine. You had Steven Adams for a stretch when Ja was out. Like you had Brandon Clark before Ja was out. Like you had a fuller roster, and that kind of just hurts them because you're missing all those guys. They're the only team I'm worried about because a lot of it is waiting on Ja to come back, and now you don't have Steven Adams. So now it's tough.
It really is.
And
they might end up getting just like fucked over and not be able to make the playoffs.
Because with the way
with how the West is.
Yeah, with how deep the West is, there's legit like
it's because this man Ja want to show around his guns and stuff.
What happens if they go around win less than 10 of these games?
Like they start out
they start 9 and what is it, 9 and 16?
9 and 16.
I mean, I'm not. You can come back.
I guess that's not too crazy.
It's pretty easy to come back.
Like you started out 2-10 in that team, the conference finals.
So it doesn't matter. I mean, the Heat prove it every year. Where you go in the playoffs might not matter.
Yeah, I think
or where you start. Basically,
Memphis has a better roster.
It just depends on how you go, like how you finish. Like so, yeah, like Miami, LA started like fucking terrible last year, and then you just get it going. I think Memphis can definitely get it going whenever Ja can come back.
Yeah, I'm not.
As long as he just doesn't keep up his antics.
Think stupid again.
So a lot of discussion has bbeen around just in our group. We were talking about it last night actually. OKC has a very high range depending on who you talk to. Depending on where you put them at in the Western Conference.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, it's either it's too early for them or people are too high on them. So we were talking about the draft compensation and what they do have to work with front office wise.
Mm-hmm.
What star do you think could possibly become available? Because it's to the point where they're cutting a lot of their draft picks because they just don't have roster room. Like, is there a star that you see becoming available in the next year or two? And it really depends on this year how good they are. Because if they're like a fringe playoff team, like 6-7, then you're like, okay, if we get one more piece around Shea, Chet, Giddey, depending on who you go get, what star fits them the best?
As a fit?
Oh, as a fit, I don't know.
Or like, what star do you think you would like to see?
I'm trying to think of people who are like up on contracts and stuff. Like, who would even be available? Like, you don't want Harden.
No.
That'd be the worst.
They have the draft capital to where if they're thinking young. They're not thinking
like Donovan
established.
Mitchell.
D-Mitch
is the only person I can kind of think that. Like, him and Shea, Jesus.
The only reason because I thought of him, like, before the pod, thinking about it, the only reason I wouldn't say him, because he just wants to go play in New York. I think that's just evident.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't signed the extension with Cleveland.
He's not gonna.
If they have the same year they do next year's, like...
Which sucks for Cleveland.
Yes, New York. That's why, because, like, sidetrack a little bit, because I was thinking about this, like, if Donovan Mitchell doesn't sign this extension and, like, you're, like, Cleveland's kind of looking like they did last year, and you're like, why wouldn't I just move him to the Knicks now at the deadline and get something? Because you don't want to lose him for nothing.
Like oh my god, the Cavs might be like bad if they lose Donovan
Mitchell. There's a chance you lose him for nothing.
Yeah, and he just goes. You just see him walk away right over to New York,
Yeah,
right into the Garden.
Yeah, a team who's already beaten you with you having Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs. Like,
but what does that package even look like?
Yeah, so I'm saying just on the topic of Donovan Mitchell, like, I just think it's evident he's just gonna go to New York.
If they trade him, then RJ's coming back.
See, that's the thing, because you have no leverage. If you try to trade him to New York, same thing. You have no leverage. They can just wait a couple more months.
Yeah, RJ's like gone. Quentin Grimes is probably gone. Like a fuck ton of picks, probably. Like, that's the only thing I would try to get. I need RJ Barrett if I'm getting rid of Donovan Mitchell. Obviously, they're not the same player at all, but I need something from you. Like, I know I'm not getting Brunson. I'm not getting Randall. So who's next on the chopping block? It's RJ Barrett.
Same with
RJ and Josh Hart.
Same with they don't have enough like
Josh Hart, a Cavs ass player.
Yeah. He's a Knicks player.
He's a Knicks ass player as well.
Like, just looking at, because it sucks because, like, it looks like you're going to lose him for nothing if he does walk, because, like, all these teams that are going to, like, if you say they not doing good, they made Donovan Mitchell available at the deadline, right? What teams are really going to give you the package you want because they know he's on a contract year and he could just leave and go where he wants to go? So it's tough. They're in a tough situation because they haven't got the deal done.
They might just keep him, like, and then if he does walk for nothing, I mean, it's kind of whatever. Yeah. Like, you'd be like, okay, thanks. Like, you did a lot for us. Like, thanks for coming. Yeah. But, I mean, I could definitely see them not, like, getting rid of him. And, like, he just walks.
And then back to, like, OKC, like, a name like Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, yeah.
How many first round, like...
All of them. You don't even... It'd be so hard to keep the group together if you're getting rid of Anthony Edwards. That's the thing. Because you got to think, your group is, like, Shea, Chet... Who else?
Giddey.
I think Giddey's gone.
If you go get
Anthony Edwards.
See, that's the thing. Like, they have so many. Like, they have so many. Because
I think they're valuing Jalen Williams over Giddey at this point. Because Jalen Williams is giving you everything, and I'm talking about starting Jalen Williams, not bench Jalen Williams, because there's two of them.
I think there's a lot of stars.
Actually, I think they have three of them.
No, they have two.
I thought there was another one.
Nah.
3 Jalen.
I thought there were 3 Jalen Williams on the Thunder.
It's just very, very interesting because it's like player-driven league now.
Right.
Like,
this year, we just roll with it.
Oh yeah, we just roll with it this year.
We rolling with it. Like, Lou Dort giving you hella consistent points and defense. Like, just roll with it. And then wherever you end up, then you talk about...
I think if you end up as a 5 seed and lose to a team that's obviously better than you...
Cool.
then
Whatever.
then you like go into the offseason like, do we really need to draft 4 people in this draft?
Anything past the plan for the Thunder is like you're over exceeding.
Yes.
Like, and then everybody, I think OKC could easily turn into America's team. Like, they just want to see them win, like do good. I think Chet is doing very good so far. He played really good against the Cavs. Got kind of exposed a couple times against the Bulls.
Yeah.
And Andre Drummond crossed him, and then Vooch dunked on him.
Yeah.
So I think he'll get it going. I mean, that was his first NBA game ever.
He'll get it going.
So he's gonna. I don't know. I think every year Chet's gonna get better. Lou Dort's giving you crazy production that you didn't think you would get. Shea's still giving you 30 a night. Giddy's sus to me. I don't know what he does. Like he's just so consistent at everything. It's very weird.
He's a Swiss Army knife you can put everywhere.
Is he like a poor man's Chris Paul?
No.
He's gonna give you 12, but then he's gonna also give you 9 assists. But then he's also gonna give you like 5 rebounds.
He's like a.
Is he like a more athletic Ben Simmons?
No, Ben Simmons is even more athletic. Like he's like a. Is he like a downgraded Tyrese Halliburton?
Oh,
he's gonna give you assists. He's gonna do a little bit of everything. I think Josh Giddey's very good.
So do I. I think he's very good. It's just like, I think if they do try to go get like, you gotta. Are you telling me you're not giving up Josh Giddey for Anthony Edwards?
I am. I just saying, but that Josh Giddey package is also with like 6 first-round picks.
Oh yeah, of course it is. And if you could get that, bro, oh my god.
They're standing so pat right now. They're waiting on the
They're
right.
Waiting.
They're waiting on the right
and
guy.
they can wait. They can wait forever. Mm-hmm. Like they're just gonna keep getting draft picks. Like it's just, and then eventually they're gonna become like a big enough market, and like people are gonna be like, okay, like because OKC right now, not the craziest market for free agent people. Like you go there, like it's just not. That doesn't appealing to the eye.
Yeah.
I'm not like, okay, I just want to go to OKC.
Yeah, it's just not a big market.
Yeah, so I think if they start making the playoffs here, people are going to be like, oh,
building more of a culture.
Yeah, they'll be like, they're ramping it up here.
Because Golden State before, like they got on their shit, they weren't the biggest glamorous market. Now they're like worth the most money in the NBA.
So I think it's crazy. There's only a couple markets like that everybody would just want to go. Like the Knicks are one, just because the
Knicks. Even Chicago's a big market,
still a
but
big
like
market. Miami, all these big markets, and then you got teams that are like Memphis and like OKC, who not like big markets. Denver, not a crazy market, but Denver is going to get up there here really soon. Yeah. People are just going to want to go there to play with Jokic.
Yeah, but
Philly's a big market.
OKC is always going to be a player in terms of like trade deadline talk and off-season talk. But to wrap up the episode, to really get into the overreactions, let's go into some hot takes for the season that you guys have. Some just hot takes that you guys have seen.
Hot takes? I mean,
hot takes.
Mine was just the Bulls aren't going to be good.
The
Bulls aren't going to be good. They're going to be terrible. Like bad, like terrible. Like I think that they need to like blow it up terrible. Like I think the Bulls need to go on a rebuild. You are getting what is the point of letting DeMar just go crazy for nothing? Like there is no point for him to just, other than like stats wise and him to be better and stuff. Like he's old, and there's no point for you to still have him. I think he could go to a different team. You could get whatever you need. You keep like Kobe White and all these young guys. Lonzo can stay until he gets fucking healthy or whatever. You got to move on from Vooch. He is not the center for the Bulls. Andre Drummond's there for.
They just extended him.
Why? What was the point?
They did extend him.
There's no point to extend him. Patrick Williams is gone after this year, so that's going to be a waste of a pick.
Is that your hot take about Patrick Williams?
Patrick Williams is not a good basketball player. Would Patrick Williams shit on me in basketball? I hope so. So I think Patrick Williams is just Patrick Williams brings nothing to court besides like subpar defense because he's long. That's about it. I think it's crazy that he was the 4th overall pick or 3rd overall pick or whatever he was out of Florida State, and I think that's fucking insane. And I'm surprised he's been on the Bulls for this long.
It's tough because DeMar DeRozan, you can see him go to a team and like push them to the next.
Memphis.
Yeah, like a team
Why
that needs a shot creator, somebody like that. Another team like somebody even like the Knicks. Like if you like somebody that needs another shot creating scorer.
I think the Bulls are just gonna be bad, and that's just I'm gonna like
they will be bad.
They could surprise me for all my God. Please prove me wrong. Like, I want to see you do good, but right now, I'm looking at your roster. You guys are going to be bad, and you have to just accept it. And I don't know why you just don't want to go into the rebuild.
Yeah.
Because you were bad last year. You were bad before that. Like, you're just bad.
I guess it's not even really a hot take. It kind of got talked about it a little bit earlier. Is Dame being a legit MVP candidate?
I mean that could happen.
Because then nobody's really talking about it at this point.
Could be a sneaky one.
Yeah, sneaky. If you bet on it, sneaky value depending on where you at in the season. Because that was the only thing ever holding Damian Lillard back is their
being on the Blazers.
their seeding and everything
that's his
else.
fault.
He had one of the best years of his career last year, and then they didn't even make the playoffs. So I think Dame could definitely enter an MVP conversation because they're really only looking for him to just be him.
Yeah.
He was really good. I don't really have any, to be honest. I can't think of any.
I guess your kind of one was Klay Thompson, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Klay Thompson doesn't look good.
But, I mean, we've seen definitely some interesting stuff over this first couple of days of the NBA season.
Hey, well, Cam Thomas has 30 points both games so far.
Yeah.
That's interesting. 6th man of the year?
Possibly.
I think he could easily win it.
Yeah. Because he wasn't...
I don't think we talked about him in the award predictions. I forgot about him.
But Emmanuel quickly was just hooping this week, too. So
him and Cam Thomas might be battling for that 6th man of the year.
And then, who knows? Chris Paul go answer that discussion when he gets brought off the bench or whatever they fucking do when they bring Draymond back.
Oh, the Blazers. I've seen enough.
They're
still going to be bad.
Yeah, they're
That's
bad.
going to be my hot take. They are still going to be
Anthony
bad.
Simons being hurt, too.
Anthony Simons just got hurt.
Hot take, we won the trade. Nurkic is better than Ayton this year. We'll have a better year.
Oh, I like that. I like it. That's a good one.
Year.
That's a really good one. Because Ayton going to give you a solid 12, 8, and 4. And then he going to have 5 fouls. Yeah. And then Nurk is just... I don't know. Nurk might do everything better than DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah. I think he's just better for our offense.
I think Nurk just fits you guys way better than DeAndre Ayton. Because if Nurk start getting that strap out, starts playing some threes, bro, oh man.
He doesn't need the ball. Ayton was out here demanding the ball.
I like that. Maybe you guys did win the trade.
But then Nurkic will get the 3.
Or maybe you guys will win it eventually. In the long term.
Grayson Allen looks like shit though, so maybe not.
Man.
It was really bad.
But you guys want to wrap it up for this episode?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning into the Barrel Talk podcast. Hope to see you tuned in the future episodes.
Sponsor us, C4.